Y'all are way too kind, giving me way too much credit here. But thank you. Oh my god. I have returned. Yes, I'm in a new fit. That's because my work clothes are boring. I'm on the floor, and the floor is dirty. I'm aware. I am very exhausted. I didn't sleep last night, so that's on me. I'm functioning on a cinnamon bun, half a smoothie, some pasta, and a caramel macchiato. So, I'm a little out of it because, and it fell. Mad. Anyways, gravity. 7 times 3 would be 21. I'm confused now. I'm not standing up. I'm too tired. And I'm gonna assume it is. And there's just like this empty space. Unsatisfying endings, but not in a bad way, if that makes sense. Wonder separated from it because it was just too big. So we're not gonna think about that one a little too much. Okay. We're gonna put the Be Gay, Do Crime in the middle of these because gay, lesbian, gay, gay. So it fits aesthetically. Okay. Options are given. And I'm gonna take this staff pick off of it because glad your staff picked it, but I don't really know who you are. Sky? Oh, hey. Have you been here this whole time? Yeah, why? Well, 'cause... Do you know how long you've been here? What page am I on? Hours, Sky. Yeah, that sounds about right. Sky, people are going missing left and right. You can't just not tell people where you're going. Right, sorry. I just wanted to finish a chapter and then... Well, I guess I'm almost finished the book. What are you even reading? The Song of Achilles? I haven't heard of that. Is it supposed to be just a different written version of the myths? Well, people like to, I don't know, something popular recently has been like modern retellings of Greek myths. And that's what you're reading? Sort of. It's the story of Achilles and Patroclus, but focusing from Patroclus's perspective. Okay, I see. You know, Sky, if you were ever curious about Achilles and Patroclus, you could just ask me about them. Are you serious? Well, I did train them. Oh, trust me, I know. Right, of course. But yeah, you can ask me questions if you want. I have so many. Right, but we should make sure everyone knows you're okay first. Right. Oh my god. I did not showcase this very well, apparently, but Sky was avoiding talking about Song of Achilles with Chiron. Like, yeah, they're excited to be able to ask questions about Achilles and Patroclus, as it is one of their favorite stories from Greek mythology. But no, there's no way in hell Sky is gonna let Chiron get anywhere near that book. They know better. It's a little too much like showing RPF fanfiction to the people it's written about. Yeah, just know, Sky's not gonna put him through that. I won't put him through that. Sky's not gonna put him through that. We're not putting anyone through RPF fanfiction about themselves. Especially if they're smut. If they were in a relationship, I'm sure Chiron would have figured it out. That's not what I'm worried about. I'm worried about the fact that there's actual smut in it. And it's like, those were his students. He doesn't want to read that. Nobody who wants to read smut fics about people they know. Or knew. I feel like it'd be extra weird for him to read it if they weren't together. Mr. T. What? Well, amidst the chaos of the last couple hours, we got a new camper and no one noticed. What? Yeah, apparently they've been hanging out with Percy for the last couple hours. Oh, isn't that just lovely? And I care why? Because you're the camp director. Can't you just go show them the orientation film? I think you'll want to meet this one. Is it one of those four? Haven't you guys been going here for years? He's just like this, don't worry. Well, right. Hi, I'm Sky. Your name is Sky? Yep. Okay, and which one of my relatives do I have to thank for your presence here? I don't know. Wait, sorry, what? I don't know. I haven't been, what did you guys call it? Claimed? You haven't been claimed yet. Nope. Are you 12 yet? I am 18. Well, you're not mine, so I don't gotta worry about the wrath of Jackson. Oh, aw. What was that? Oh, nothing, just would have been cool to have you as my godly parent. Is that so? I mean, the god that's famous and was celebrated for freeing his followers from inhibitions and to let them party and have fun? Yeah. I mean, obviously your presence is present at, like, parties and stuff, but, like, I feel like I could definitely see that same power used to help people fight for what they believe in. Just say a big old fuck you to society. Like, who the fuck cares what society has to say about me? I'm being myself, you know? I don't know, I just feel like your influence is very impactful and has helped me just feel less anxious about life. Wait, sorry, Dionysus does what? Percy, he's the god of festivity, ritual madness, religious ecstasy, and theater. How do you think that happened? Since when have you been the god of theater? Since when have you known anything? But you... Yeah, keep talking, see what happens. Turning people into dolphins? That level of chaos? Where do you think that came from? Chaos? In the best way possible, sir. Bit of a pity you aren't mine. Sorry, what? What? Wait, calm down. You would think I was using my powers on you or something. I think you broke them, sir. Dionysus likes me. Like's a strong word. Don't get cocky. Right, sorry, sir. Right, well, I think that's everything in this sky. I'm good. Right, well, we best be going figure this whole thing out. Where'd all the time go? Starting to fly. This is not coffee or Monster. Patton, what did you do with my caffeine? Virgil, it's 3 a.m. You don't need caffeine. You need to go to bed. I'm not going to bed. I need to spite God. I went to a convention the last 3 days. I was in cosplay for 2 days. Today I was not. This was the fit. However many people thought I was in cosplay, someone even took a picture of me. They asked, by the way, don't take people's pictures without their consent, even at conventions. However, I had 2 people say, oh, what are you supposed to be cosplaying as? And then giving me what they thought it was. And the first one was a Hex Girl from Scooby-Doo. The other was Sam Manson from Danny Phantom. Is that my peak? Is that my peak? I think it might be. I was dressed as myself. Over the top myself. If I hear any of y'all be like, oh, you're wearing makeup, and yeah, I'm dressing as myself. And people thought I was dressed as a Hex Girl. Like the lesbian awakening. Or Sam Manston, the other lesbian awakening. I felt amazing. The convention was so good. I met so many nice people. That's all. I'm gonna go to bed now. TikTok, I need you to do a thing. So this is me. I was cosplaying as Amity Blight the last 2 days at Edmonton Expo. I've seen this work before. I have no other way of doing this. Anyone who took a picture of me or with me, this is for you. I didn't think about it in the time because it kept happening and I was like, oh, cool. I kind of want those pictures. So if any of you saw me and took pictures with me, message me on Instagram. I want to see them. Wouldn't you like to know? I don't know how, but I ended up on Swiftie TikTok and all I want to say is what's going on? I mean, don't get me wrong, I like Taylor Swift's music, but I'm not a Swiftie and I'm so confused. What are these theories? What is Taylor Swift planning? Why are people refreshing? I'm so lost. Like, I'm gonna just end up searching up the lore behind all of this shit going on my For You page. Cause I'm so confused. What are y'all Swifties doing? What? TikTok. I'm not gonna religiously listen to Taylor Swift's music like this. I love her, but I just don't listen to music that way. But now there's lore? There's lore! What? I feel like I'm witnessing world domination right now, like... Have people ever considered that if you don't want to use neopronouns, you can just not engage with people who use neopronouns? No one's holding a gun to your head saying you have to interact with this person who used neopronouns and use their neopronouns. Because you know what? If you don't want to use a person's neopronouns, if you don't want to respect that, they probably don't want to interact with you either. It's a win-win for everyone. And honestly, like, it's just, I can't believe of all the things our community is debating over and really, like, set on right now is neopronouns. Like, how is it making fun of trans people if it's actually trans, non-binary, and other gender non-conforming people who are using them? That's my question. If they genuinely feel comfortable with those pronouns and they fall underneath the transgender or non-binary umbrella, how is that making fun of the LGBTQIA+ community? How is that making fun of the trans community? And they are part of that community. And with that being said, why is that what we're worried about? Like, were neopronouns originally used to make fun of trans people? I don't know. Maybe. If they were, that doesn't stop the trans community from reclaiming them, though. We've done it before, we can do it again. Look at us with the word queer. That used to be a slur, and to some people it still is a slur. However, the community has reclaimed it. Hell, oftentimes people have defined us as the queer community. Like, yes, people used to call people like us queers as an insult, but we reclaimed that, and I see it used all the time now. What is the difference? What is the difference? You know what? What I've heard are the arguments against neopronouns is, oh, our community is already, like, hard to swallow for cis, het, and allo people. People already see us as a joke. We can't keep, like, making us look like a joke. Why the fuck are we trying to conform to cis, het, and allo people? Have you ever thought for a fucking minute what the point of the queer community is? It is literally here so we can be ourselves and say no, a big fuck you to cis, het, and allo people who say that we're not valid or allowed to feel like this, or we're not who we say we are. At no point should the queer community's worry be whether or not cis, het, and allo people think how we identify is digestible to them. The existence of this community has always been a protest, as well as a safe space for people who do not meet society's expectations of what a normal person should be. Like, have we just forgotten how we've gotten here as queer people? Have we forgotten that it was trans women of color who were fucking throwing bricks, demanding for change? Apparently, you're trying too hard to make cis, het, and allo people happy. And that's not the point of the community. I can definitely understand this thought process, but honestly, the only way you get better at using pronouns is by using them. So, and it gets easier, honestly, after a while of using neopronouns, or even after a while of a person using a different set of pronouns for a person after you've known them to use a different set of pronouns for a while, it becomes easier the more you do it. And if you're really worried about using the wrong pronouns for them, honestly, it also helps to think about it when you're not around them. Neopronouns, for me, were about as easy to incorporate into my vocabulary as they/them pronouns were at first. And that's not on the people using these pronouns. That's on how I grew up, where I grew up, who I grew up around. People using they/them pronouns have been around for a while. They/them pronouns have been used as a singular pronoun for a long time. It just was never something I thought about much until I started interacting with people who used they/them pronouns. And honestly, being an ally to your trans, non-binary, other gender non-conforming friends requires more than just respecting them when you see them. It requires you changing how you think about them. I mean, obviously they're the same person, but if you think about them or talk about them in other situations where they're not around, you want to make that conscious effort to see them for who they are. And it's fine that it's a little awkward and hard for you to do that at first, but putting in the effort even when they're not around is good too. And obviously there are moments where you can't do this, like if they're not out, don't out them to people you're around. But even if you're just like alone and you think about them and you think the wrong pronoun or the wrong name, correct yourself. Because if you don't change that on a subconscious level, you will never see them for who they are. And I know people are going to see this and get mad and be like, well, why are we putting in so much effort just to make them comfortable? Maybe because you care about them? I mean, do I expect people to put in this effort for me? Not really. But I put this effort when it comes to my friends because I care about them. And I think it is so important that me, an important person in their life, sees them for who they are, even when they're not around. I mean, one of my best friends uses neopronouns, and Ghost uses he, they pronouns as well. However, I wanted to be able to use their neopronouns as well as the he, they pronouns. So I consciously used Ghost's pronouns a lot for the first little bit. Now I'm a lot better at rotating those three. I already knew he, they. Ghost was new, so I just needed to practice. You know what? I think it would be fun if you took a guess. Leave it in the comments. How tall, how short do you think I am? Yeah. It's pretty short. I still need to read They Both Die at the End. But even if I had, it's a very different story than They Both Die at the End. And it would be sad for very different reasons, so I don't think it's a fair comparison. Because I know that they both die at the end and like they were in love, and that's kind of like what makes it sad, is the fact that they spent their last day alive together and they both die. This book is about Ed when he's going through early stages of dementia. To my understanding, the series is meant to explore different parts of Ed's life, because the second book explores his life before all of this happened and him exploring gender and stuff like that. At least that's what the authors of the book told me when I was there. I've yet to read the second book, so I'll let you know about that one, but it's sad because of the dementia and how that's affecting him and people around him, and it's like he's messing up his relationships in his life and forgetting who he is and forgetting all of these things, and he can't do anything about it because that's how dementia is. And that's why it's sad. So, is it as sad as They Both Die at the End? I don't think so, but not because I don't think it's as sad. I think it's just a different sad. You know? It's a very different story, so it's not... You can't measure it on, like, how sad. You have to measure it on, like, how it is sad. You know? And, yeah, those stories are sad for very different reasons. So... 5'6" is short to you? I'm horrified. How fucking tall are you? 5'6" is short to you? How fucking tall are you that 5'6" is short? What? I'm scared. I'm not 5'6". Quite a bit shorter. I went and found that picture because I was like, this is a smart idea. I make you look tall! My friend who is 5'3" on a good day, and me. When I told y'all I was short, I meant I was short. There we go.
What about the dog?
My dad is 5'6".
Yeah, maybe.
On a good day.
On a good day.
Yeah. Okay, TikTok, I'm 18. Let me live. If you're seeing this and you're not 18, please just scroll past. Short answer is, it's the desire for having a sexual relationship with someone without having a romantic relationship with someone. Which can happen with your friends and can happen with people you don't really know. The thing is that it happens a lot more than people seem to realize, and you don't necessarily need to be aromantic to experience sexual attraction without romantic attraction. But with that, a lot of people don't like to talk about those situations, and if they do, they like to romanticize the hell out of it. I've read the fanfics, I've seen the movies, read the books, where they start off as just casual hookup or as friends with benefits, and then, oh, they actually have been pining for each other the whole time, or they end up falling in love, and that doesn't happen that often. The closest I've ever been to that was when there was a miscommunication and they were interested in me romantically and I was not, and it was just a very awkward situation to get out of. Okay, well, one time it was just awkward, another time they actually love bombed me, and yeah, it just wasn't good. But the thing is like, it was a while ago, it was like 3 years ago, and I didn't realize at the time that's what I was feeling, and then the awkward situation was like a couple months ago. He messaged me like the next day and I was like, sorry, what? Why are you trying to get to know me? Yeah, with that in mind, communicate, try to make sure you're on the same page. Another thing that I like to laugh about now, because like I should have realized I was a sooner, is I had friends who I was like, why not? But the thing is like, I had no desire for our relationship to change, even if we had sex. It was just like in my brain, I had like kind of some people where I was like, yeah, I'd be interested in hooking up with them and not have our relationship change. And that happened to me way more than I had crushes on people. So I guess like the main thing is just like, if you're interested in having any kind of relationship with someone, what does it usually look like? What do you experience more often? Because it's possible to not experience any kind of attraction. It's possible to not experience love at all, because like being loveless is also a thing. Not experiencing love is valid. But if you do experience attraction, desire for a relationship with someone, just what kind of relationship do you often desire? And platonic, sexual, romantic relationships will look different for everyone. A lot of people think I'm dating my friends when it's just like we cuddle and like sometimes hold hands because it's funny. People can see that as romantic things, but not necessarily a romantic thing unless you want it to be. It's mainly just like how it's different for you. A romantic relationship has a certain amount of commitment that you have both agreed on, and that's what makes it a romantic relationship, I think. I have not been in many, so I don't know. But yeah, bottom line is, what do you desire in any kind of relationship you have? And if you don't feel romantic attraction, but you feel sexual attraction, that usually means that when you experience attraction that is not platonic, it's usually sexual. And you can experience it with people you don't know, and you can experience it with people you do know. If it's people you don't really know, just remember to be safe. I hope that made sense. I hope that helped. Have mercy. I was watching cartoons with my cousin until 10 p.m. I cried twice because we watched the last like half of Tangled, the animated series. I cried real hard, and I got home at like 11. I had to get up at 2:30 in the morning because I had work today. I made that choice. I did that to myself. That's on me. But I just realized today's hair wash day. I just want to go to bed. I don't want to wash my hair. Please. But I can't wait another day. I need to wash my hair. I really don't want to, though. People be out here asking me questions about how they figure out their gender identity. My guy. Been saying I'm unlabeled for a little while, but okay, you know what? You know what? you ever just have those moments where you're like, am I really a she/her? And then those other ones where you're like, do I really identify with he/they? Do I identify with he? What if it's just a she/he? Maybe it's just they/them. Maybe it's a she/they, and it changes. Currently, I am heavily questioning whether or not I want to drop she/her pronouns. Is it a gender fluid moment? I don't know. It is so inconsistent that I have chosen unlabeled, because it's been like this, and I've been aware of it since I was about 15. The amount of trans Peter Parker and trans Will Solace fics I've read, and the way that I cling to Ben from I Wish You All the Best and Alex Fierro from Magnus Chase and the Gods of Asgard. The things I felt when I read a non-binary Nico D'Angelo fic where they used they-them pronouns. The way I know I'm gonna cling to trans variant fics. The way I cling to gender-fluid Remy Sanders and non-binary Virgil Sanders. Why are you asking me to help you with your gender identity? I don't know if I'm afraid of dropping she, her pronouns, or if it's just that it changes. I don't know if the fact that people immediately use she, her pronouns for me bugs me because I like to challenge the gender binary, or because I genuinely don't identify with them. I don't know if when people consciously use he, they in front of me, or correct themselves from she, her to he or they, making me so happy is a wanting to challenge the gender binary thing, or a I want to drop the she, her pronouns thing. Because you know what? A couple months ago, I was genuinely wondering whether or not he, they was something I identified with, and very afraid, and felt very bad that I was just making shit up. This is why I choose the unlabeled thing, because it's just, it's constantly changing. The fact that pretty much any label I kind of identify with, depending on the day, could mean that I'm gender fluid. Is that the label I want to choose? Or is it Alex Fierro haunting my every thought? I don't know. I would like to help you with your gender crisis, but I'm still having one every 3 months, so...
I'm just being an idiot.
What's up?
Hey.
I thought you had a boyfriend.
No, he was horrible. This is someone else. Do you want to join the rugby team?
What?
Oh, look. Guess I'm gay now.
You want a kiss? Would that help?
Even if we were together. What? What?
This was not one of the, oh, it was ADHD the whole time moments I was expecting. Are you kidding me? Figures that as soon as I figured out I had ADHD, that shit started happening with my gender. Is the mountains peaceful? From what I remember. Do I seem peaceful? I'm making style choices and hair choices to feel more gender, and what's happening is I'm starting to look more and more like Charlie Spring. That is a good thing, by the way. I love Charlie, but literally I cut bangs. Tossed on this jacket because the jacket felt gender. How did I end up here? I don't know. Am I regretting the decisions I've made to get here? No. Gender. I've been so excited to graduate high school, to just have time to myself and just like get to know myself, because for the longest time I haven't felt like a person and I have no real sense of my own identity. I don't want it anymore. I'm having a full-fledged gender crisis, guys. I'm gonna apply to college and get a second job. I don't want to get to know myself anymore. I'm good. This is too stressful.
For this latest little game of yours, thank the stars it's over. Did you have fun? Did you get everything out of your system? Good. Everyone is so relieved. Welcome home, Pink.
Guys, that was... Sky, do you, like, need a minute? I know. Take a minute. I would like to talk more about Sky being unclaimed with everything going on, this isn't a good sign. Well, whoever it is, they'll be hearing from me if they don't claim Sky in the next week. Percy, since they made that oath, only 2 campers have come here unclaimed, while also being older than 12. Piper and Leo. And, Percy, what happened when Leo and Piper got here? I don't know, I was off fucking hibernating somewhere because of Hera. Oh! And the fate of the world was in your hands. Twice. How are we still here? The Hermes cabin was stuffed full for a long time. Can you blame me for thinking they were just a deadbeat? The point is we should brace ourselves. For what? Don't worry about it. Another war. Percy, what? You guys talked to me through riddles for the first 4 years that I was here. And that entire time, I was prophesized to either destroy or save Olympus. Yeah, no, I'm not doing that to Sky. So what you're saying is I have to retrain myself in archery? Archery? That's the only weapon I ever learned how to use was the bow. But it's been a while. What? It could be nothing. It could be something. But Will, what about Frank? I guess. But it's something. Percy, Sky really needs to get an actual tour and settled into the Hermes cabin for now. Could you or one of you please get that done before dinner? Oh, whoa, oh my god. You haven't seen anything. Yeah, but what is there to see? Oh, you have no idea. I guess you haven't met Annabeth or Jason. Who? Come on. If you watch the other episodes, I think you'll pick up on the fact that this is taking place just before the events of Trials of Apollo. With that being said, though, I am choosing to ignore what happened in the Burning Maze. Jason is alive and well, and he will remain that way for the duration of this story. I don't care what anyone says. He's fine, in my head.